Hello, everyone, and I'm going to do this for another few days. Happy New Year! I'm so glad to be back. I missed you. I hope you missed me. For those who don't know me, my name is Tash Jeffries. We're doing the launch of MoneyEngine. It's been a long time in the process, but we're finally here. But before we go into that, why are you here? How did you get here? Let's talk about it. This is really all about discussing the founder stories, the pitfalls that I have seen happen. After working with more than 1,300 founders across the globe, there are some very common mistakes that founders make. And I'm here to make sure that you don't hit them. And if you stay tuned towards the end, you'll see there's a special offer from me, which I'm super excited to kick off so that I can be with you more. This is what I love to do. So without further ado, let's get right into it for the first month of the year. Let's talk right out the gate, since my nickname is Tash Money, about what you're doing where it feels like it's a push to your customers. Usually, if that's the case, what I've seen so many founders do is that they've created a solution in search for a problem. I'm going to stop and repeat that so that you can hear what I'm saying and the difference. You've built this big thing. You thought, oh, this is cool. And I can see where it solves a problem somewhere in the world. Instead of actually taking a look and hearing what's happening, the conversations that people are having, and saying, oh, I keep hearing the same problem over and over. And I ask people, well, how are you currently solving it? What makes it so hard? Well, what would make you pay for a solution? You see what's happening? So a lot of the friction that you see when you have a hard time activating customers, finding customers, is all because you've done the very first thing I mentioned, which is you created this big solution without a problem in mind. So you actually have a solution in search of a problem. I'm going to actually show you how you can stop, because from my work, I can tell you that usually accounts for about 90% of the problems that I see founders making. So let me talk about a very simple framework that you can use to be able to stop yourself from getting in this habit. And also, I'm going to give a couple of tips how you can actually ease yourself out of that and actually fix it now. So we'll get to that shortly. Now, before we get into how to fix it, let's talk about why founders do it. Founders usually do it because it's so easy to get into that phase. You're so excited about building and about creating something that the world needs, and you just get on building and you follow the energy. Let me first state that this is not a bad thing to do. This is actually really good because it means that you know how to follow the energy for what feels good. But we're going to fix that. So let's talk about the 3 things that you can do. 3 things right now to actually stop. Now that you've created something, I'm going to suggest that if you feel like you're hitting a brick wall trying to get to people, that we stop when we fix it. The very first thing that we do, stop and talk to your potential customers. So take a look at the solution that you've created. Who is it for? Who are the people who are actually going to benefit from using what you have? My suggestion right out the gate is that you make a short list of 10 people that you know right now that you can actually hop on the phone with and actually talk to. Now, doesn't matter what your background, what industry you came from, if you're currently working and this is your side hustle, you can find time to make 15 to 20 minute blocks to actually talk to people. The reason I'm going to get you to talk to people is because there's a framework for the questions that you should be asking. I've created this solution and this is what it's meant to do. Is this a problem that you're commonly experiencing? Do you deal with this problem on a regular basis? We're starting with that first question that you're asking people to validate whether or not the problem that you actually exists. If you cannot validate that this is a problem for people, how are you ever going to sell it? So you have to go back and see if the problem actually exists. First question. Second question is, oh, okay, how painful is this for you? How does this impact your day? How expensive is this problem for you? Now, depending on what that problem is in the first place, you're going to pick one of those questions. You're not going to ask all three, but you're going to be able to see the patterns that come about when the one question that you know you need to get the answer for. The next thing about that question is you need to figure out whether the solution that you've created is a painkiller or a vitamin. Meaning, is this something that has a lot of problems associated with it, where people are willing to throw money at it to fix it? Or whether it's a nice to have where people say, I can kind of deal with it. It's not really a big problem. Guess what? If you have built something that is not a problem to your ideal customer profile, you're going to see that ICP is one of my favorite words and topics. You'll see it come out a lot. But unless you can actually clearly see that this is a problem that people are dealing with, you're going to have a hard time as well being able to do step 3. Step 3 is the question. How much would you be willing to pay for this solution? Now, Cash Money always says, if you can't sell it, then you got to let it go. Reason being is that unless you created something that you want to be a hobby, which I'm hoping that if you're here, that is not the case. You want to actually be a successful startup founder, you need to figure out a way to actually make this money for you. If you cannot figure out a way, what do we have? We've got a hobby, or we've got a nice little tool that maybe sits somewhere, but it's not actually something that's going to have a business model where you can have repeatable, sustainable money. So, very simple 3 questions that you can ask people once you find a list, but you need to go and validate that you actually have a problem or you've uncovered a problem that people want the solution for. All right, so let's talk about if you have something already, and let's say you've already done these questions and you've uncovered that you've created something, but nobody wants to buy it. What do you do next? Well, the first thing is assess how long you've been working at this thing. I'm all about hard truth. So hard truth number 1, if you have been working on something for over a year, you've had the paywall up, meaning you've been offering it at a certain price and no one's been buying, guess what? It means that nobody wants it. Cut your ties and reframe yourself. If you sign up for MoneyEngine, which we'll talk about a little bit later, for now, this is all about you actually getting into the right frame of mind. For now, go back to the drawing board and create something new. We're going to keep it there because I like to keep things short and sweet like me. So we're going to go back and just do a quick recap of what did we talk about. We talked about building something first without validating that there's a problem. So your 3 tips to walk away with as a founder now are: go back and find people that you can actually interview. You're going to ask the 3 questions, super important questions. What's the problem that you're currently dealing with? How big of a problem is it for you? And would you be willing to pay for it? If you can go back and answer those 3 questions and you get resounding, yes, this is big, I'm willing to pay, then you are on the right track. All right. So now that you've been here, this is the beginning. I'm going to keep doing this all year long because I love being here with you. So if anything of what I said sounds familiar or you think you're in that boat, please sign up for the link that you'll see below, which is where I do weekly office hours, where literally you'll get time with me live, 30 minutes every Monday, 12 Atlantic Standard Time, because I'm in Nova Scotia. Yeah, cold right now, but it's okay. So I hope you found this valuable. Please reach out to me or respond to me if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next one.